I hope you're having a great day so far. I'm really excited for our discussion on Sunday. We're in the middle of our series, Truth Be Told, and this Sunday I'm going to be talking about the source of truth, and in specifically the Bible being our source of truth. And so I've been really excited about this topic. There's a lot of information. And so today I wanted today's weekly check-in to kind of be a little bit different. It's not so much a devotional as it is some information for you in addition to this Sunday's conversation that I hope is going to be very helpful in understanding and having a more holistic view when it comes to what we believe. And so, having said all of that, the first thing is we're going to be talking about Sunday, the Bible. And I'm going to write it a little bit lower because I know there's a little bit of a glare in this room. Okay, we're going to be talking about the Bible. And this is a question that lots of people have. They want to know if the Bible's a reliable resource. Can we trust in the Bible? Is the Bible true? Are things in the Bible and that the Bible say true for us today? Should we take everything literally in the Bible? And so that's going to be the topic on Sunday, a little bit of the discussion, the Bible as the source of truth. And a lot of people have questions about God. Does God exist? How do we know God is real? And if God is real, how do we know the Bible's real? And if the Bible's real, how do we know God is real? Because there's the little bit of that back and forth. We believe God to be real because the Bible has told us so. And so we're going to dive into this. Now, as part of the conversation, and I think this is very valuable, I wanted to talk a little bit today about worldview, okay? Because we all carry a worldview. All right, so here it is, worldview. We all carry a worldview, whether you know it or not. If you believe in God, if you don't believe in God, if you believe there is no God, if you believe there is a God, we carry a worldview. Now, some of you may say, well, isn't your worldview shaped by your upbringing and the people that were in your life and involved in your life? And some of those things obviously play into that. But what's amazing is we're all created so differently with unique personalities. We believe in things, we don't believe in things. Faith is easier for some, faith isn't easier for others. Some people really need that real, think of Thomas in the Bible. Thomas needed to touch the hands of Jesus. He just couldn't believe it. Even when he saw it, he couldn't believe it. And so we are all created differently and unique, and so we carry a worldview. Now, there's 4 major worldviews, in case you didn't know, and I'll share them with you today. Materialism is the first one. Okay, we got materialism. And this is where nothing exists except matter. Matter created the universe. Okay, everything came from matter. This is a worldview. The second one is theism. Okay, theism. Now, we fall into this category in terms of theism is a personal God created the universe. And so you kind of branch off of this over here to Christian theism. Okay, Christian theism. All right, so this is what I believe. And then the third one is deism. Deism, and this is where you have an impersonal God, okay, who created everything but doesn't interfere with human affairs. Probably the simplest way to put it. The fourth one is pantheism. Okay, and pantheism kind of regards the universe in a sense that I've heard it explained like this. Pantheism is sort of like the Force from Star Wars, right? It's like the universe is God and how it was created, and so there's this ultimate force out there. And so you have these 4 major worldviews. Now, hopefully I sparked your interest a little bit, and maybe you're going to start asking yourself the question, where do I fall in all of this, right? And it's really hard to say, oh, I believe in both of these things or both of these things. And you fall into one of the categories, and there's a system and boundaries within that and a way that it works. There's not really an overlap. And so it doesn't really work to go, I believe that all the religions are all correct and all of them are intertwined. In fact, each of them have their own boundaries and rules, and especially Christian theism, it singles it out. There is only one God specifically, and so that really doesn't leave room for all these other gods to come into play. Now, when you kind of discover where you fall in all of this, it's important to test it, okay? And there's a couple ways you can do this. I'll talk a little bit more about this on Sunday. The simple version is this. You want to verify the events. Okay, verify events, and then you're looking at, is it relevant? Okay, within the time period, within the dates, all of these things. And so what I do Sunday is I talk about this in terms of the Bible, okay? And we look at, can we verify the events? Is it relevant? Does it really apply for us today? How do we know that it's authentic? Can we trust in it? I mean, it was written all these years ago by different people. How did it stay intact? All these kinds of questions, okay? And so when you figure this out, you want to test it, but you also need to understand that, and I don't really know how else to explain this with, there's a system in each of these, and this is what it looks like, okay? So you have 4 different categories. Origin, all right, G-I-N, meaning, okay, morality, and 4, destiny, okay? Origin, meaning, morality, and destiny. These are sort of the four categories of each of this, I guess if you will. This is what plays into your worldview. What is the thing that everything else comes from? Origin. Meaning. Is there meaning to our existence and meaning to life? Morality. And this is where Christian theism really, when we're talking about does God exist and can you believe in God, the argument is made for, morals and ethics. Can you have a moral law? And if you believe there to be a moral law, is there a moral law giver? There must be a moral law giver. Or, how could you just be born and understand there is right and wrong and all these things? So this is where the argument for Christianity always comes into play. And then destiny, where are we going? Is there something that happens after death? Is there really an ultimate purpose to all of our existence? And so we talk about that a lot. God's redemptive work and plan for humanity, which I really believe God has this amazing redemptive work and plan for humanity, and he shares it in the Bible. The Bible is more than just stories, and it's more than just all these letters and writings and books compiled together. It is a book that tells the story of Jesus and his redemptive plan for humanity and this relationship with God. And so, yeah, hey, if you're watching this, maybe you haven't been out to church or for a while, or maybe you're not, sure about God. Maybe you're kind of in that position there. I want you to know, and hopefully this sparks your interest a little bit, that the church does think about these things. The church is interested in this topic very much, and it's something that we have thought about on a regular basis. And for those of you that are, a part of church and go to church all the time, and you might consider yourself a Christian, I hope that this sparks some more confidence in you. I want you to be confident not just in the Bible and not just in God, but in who Jesus is. Okay? There we go. In who Jesus is. That Jesus, his life, death, and resurrection, there's so much evidence supporting that. How he loves all of creation, his plan for humanity, his purpose for us. And so I want you to be encouraged with that today. Thanks so much for tuning in. All right, we'll be back soon. If you have a comment or an extra thought, drop it there in the comments below. Love to chat a little bit more with you and discuss more about you. So have a fantastic day. We'll talk soon.